Welcome back, folks. You're watching Sport Federation TV. It's great to have you with us. This is, of course, the show that takes a look at sport in the Cape Town area, sport across the province, and we talk to all varieties of sport and a number of types of participants that are involved in sport, from coaches to administrators and, of course, the athletes. And in South Africa, we've had such performance, perfect performance almost. I don't know if you'd call it perfect performance, but fantastic performance from Lifesaving in South Africa that's been doing such a great job. And we're thrilled to have in studio with us now Savannah Voigt. Savannah is, of course, Clifton Lifesaving, South African Lifesaving, Australia Lifesaving. Savannah, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and share all about the sport of surf lifesaving and how nationals went last week and my training leading up to that.
You're currently living in Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm currently in the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I'm studying a degree of health science at Bond University.
But you're a Clifton Lifesaver.
I'm a Clifton Lifesaver, but I'm also part of Northcliffe Surf Lifesaving Club.
Okay.
And I train swimming at Bond University.
Currently competing, though, representing South Africa, and well, how does it work for you guys? Do you represent the club, or do you compete individually?
Well, we all compete for our clubs at nationals, so I compete for Clifton Lifesaving Club.
Yeah.
And we get selected to be in the South African lifesaving team. So being in Oz, I can still participate for Lifesaving South Africa and make the team, which is really cool. So I have a competition in Wales coming up, so I get to travel all the way there alone and then meet up with the South African team and see all my friends. So
and
really
then you compete then for South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that work then for you guys from a preparation point of view? Do you need to be training as a team together, or is it okay that you can train back home and then get together?
It is hard, but I'm part of the senior open team. So all the girls, we kind of know what we're good at and what we're not good at. And we've had lots of experience in the field of pool rescue and stuff like that. But I guess it is hard training by yourself and then meeting up with all the girls when they've had training camps together and stuff like that. But you kind of just slot in because you know what you're doing and
so
it's
you
fine.
are currently living and training in Australia. I mean, Australia is known or has been known as the best lifesavers in the world. Or at least we were told when you guys went there for the World Championship last year. That was sort of the headquarters for competition. Do you see a difference in the South Africa training versus the Australia training?
In a way, yes. The Australian boys and girls, they're insane. Like I could be doing really well making top 8 in competitions here, but in Australia you might not even make the final.
Really?
The quality of their racing and training is crazy. But they also, a lot of it's paid for, so the girls and boys, they can get paid training, and there's so much support in the sport there that they have sponsors and stuff like that supporting them. Whereas here it's a bit harder. But
okay, run us through some of for the folks that don't know anything about lifesaving, because most people that are watching the show now, they probably just know lifesaving of you guys walking on the beach saving lives. So you've got what you used to call Stillwater, which was the not on the coast lifesaving.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what is that and how does it work, and is it still called Stillwater?
Well, Stillwater is now called pool rescue.
Right.
It's basically just the pool component of surf lifesaving. So it's just racing in the pool. You have fins on. You pick up mannequins. I think weigh about 60 kgs.
Yeah.
So pretending it's an actual person you're saving. You use the rescue tubes you see around the pool usually on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, that's the one aspect, and obviously the other aspect is the surf part, being at the beach and doing the running, the irons, the board, all that.
I wondered about I'm assuming you've got to be a good swimmer if you want to be a lifesaver, a good lifesaver.
Yes, for sure. Everyone becoming a lifesaver, we have to do a test. We have to do in South Africa. We have to swim 400 meters, and I think it's under. I think for us maybe 8 minutes.
Right.
For the senior people. But yeah, I feel everyone has to be able to be a swimmer, and especially that's my specialty is swimming. So obviously I put a lot more work into that.
So when you say that's your specialty, what's that? What are the other codes then, or styles of lifesaving that you're busy with? I think the one that we see the most is the typical photo shot of someone diving for a flag.
Yeah, so obviously you get the beachies, which is your flags people, your sprinters, your long run people, and then you get your craft people, which is your ski, your board, your irons, all of that. And then you get your swimmers, and then you get your pool people, which are mainly like from like in, what do you call it, like Joburg and those type of places, which are like mainly the swimmers in the pool. But yeah, that's
Do you need to have your own equipment when you're talking about guys that have got craft and that? Do you have to have your own boat, or do they supply that at the club?
Some clubs do supply craft, but if you're trying to be more serious about the sport, obviously people would go buy their own craft, just like you would buy your own pair of running shoes if you're a runner. Like people buy their own skis and boards.
Mainly for competitive purposes then?
Yes, and casual, like people on Malibu boards love going to like Musenberg and like catching waves there. Like it's loads of fun.
So tell us a little bit about what does your training, your typical training look like? I mean, you're at the next level now, competing for South Africa. You're in the professional environment in the Australia space and traveling around the world competing. And we've had a lot of lifesavers in studio with us in the last few years, and all we hear is that you guys you don't stop training. What does your week look like?
My week's pretty intense. I do about 7 swim sessions, 2 swim gym sessions, a pool rescue session, and then I do 3 CrossFit sessions. So I don't really do too much surf training. I try for like fun on the weekends, just playing in the surf. But yeah, it's really intense. Obviously, I'm like more of a swimmer, so I focus more on that, and I feel like the gym work really helps with that.
So are you training more than once a day? I mean, from what you're saying, it's like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a day. Like it could be an early morning swimming. We have to wake up at 4:30, and then I have CrossFit usually around 9, and then we'll have another swim session in the afternoon. But yeah, that's just my training schedule.
That's a pretty intense training schedule. When is your next competition now?
Well, I have a few competitions in Oz for pool rescue before I leave to Wales, which is in July.
Yeah.
And then...
Is the Wales tournament indoor, coastal?
It's an indoor pool rescue, so it's in a pool like in Wales.
Right.
But it's actually the Commonwealth Games for pool rescue, so it's quite a big deal with all the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah.
But yeah, really looking forward to that. And then hopefully going to try see if I make the rescue team it's a team that goes to New Zealand in November, which would be really cool. That's a surf.
Who are the best? Who the best athletes, best lifesavers? Is it the Aussies? Who are the best lifesavers in the world?
Well, I reckon the Kiwis, the New Zealanders, and the Aussies obviously are up there, but South Africa is definitely up there too. We definitely give them the run for their money. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, even the people that are really good in the actual pool are like the Italians, the French, but they're not so good in the surf. So it really just depends.
So when you're competing in an event like that, do you take part in more than one discipline, or do you just do flags or beach, or you choose, or must you do it all?
Well, every person's different. Like you could just be a beachie and just do the beach stuff. You could be an all-round and do everything. You could be just a surf person and do that, or just a pool person. But I'm a bit of a mixture. I like getting involved in everything and getting involved with the teamwork, especially with like my Clifton team at Nationals last week. I was involved in a lot of the relays, so with all the girls doing everything.
So is that the nickname that you guys have for each other, beachies and poolies?
Yep, beachies, poolies, crafties,
Really?
all of that, yeah. All
right, so next step for you though, it's Wales. What does your prep look like now in the next couple of days?
Well, I've currently just had a week off. I'm flying back to Oz tomorrow. Right. So just getting back, settling down with the jet lag and all of that, and then just getting back into full swing, swimming training, pool rescue training, all of the above.
All right, Savannah, we're going to leave it at that. Welcome back to South Africa, and we're going to lose you now again, but hopefully you'll get back soon. And of course, you will be competing for South Africa and Wales shortly, and still flying the flag for Clifton Lifesavers. So we're thrilled to have you here and find out that things are going very well, and we can't wait for you to get back here permanently.
Thank you so much for having me.
There we go. Right, there we go, folks. Savannah Voigt, she's of course a lifesaver from Clifton Lifesaving. She's on her way to Wales to compete for South Africa. Just had a successful South African championships, and we wish Savannah the very best. We can't wait to see how those results go. You're of course watching Sport Federation TV. Remember, we are of course every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and then Friday afternoons as well. So make sure you keep watching Cape Town TV here on DStv, channel 263. We'll be back after the break with more sport in a sec. you.